Minji, when the devil is more merciful than humans. Minji, a 21-year-old woman, has one of the strangest and most dangerous crime stories you may ever hear. As you listen to its details, you will realize that sometimes the devil can be kinder than humans. The beginning of the story. In 2014, in South Korea, specifically in Seoul, Minji was living with her husband and young daughter. On a Ramadan night, at exactly 2:00 a.m., her husband returned home after a long day at work. She greeted him as if nothing had happened, even though just 5 hours earlier, she had committed a murder. The victim, a 29-year-old man named Dae-Hyun, worked as a sales representative. He had attempted to assault Minji, but she managed to stab him with a knife, killing him instantly. She then hid his body inside a wardrobe, deciding to leave it there until she could figure out what to do. A corpse in the room. After her husband had his pre-dawn meal, he went to the bedroom to sleep. Minji tried to stop him, claiming she was still cleaning the room. However, he insisted on sleeping in his own bed, unaware that Dae-Hyun's corpse was hidden inside the wardrobe in the same room. The night passed uneventfully, and a whole day went by without her husband noticing anything unusual. The following night, Minji began to panic and decided to call her brother, Dae-Hyun, and confessed everything to him. She was terrified and didn't know how to handle the situation. Dae-Hyun suggested that she report the incident to the police and tell them exactly what had happened. She claimed that she hadn't planned the murder, explaining that Dae-Hyun had come to her house pretending to be a sales representative. When he tried to assault her, she grabbed the nearest knife and killed him in self-defense. The investigation unravels the truth. When the police arrived at Minji's apartment, they began questioning her and her husband, who still believed every word she had said. However, the authorities quickly became suspicious. First, if she had truly acted in self-defense, why hadn't she reported the crime immediately? Why had she kept the body hidden in the wardrobe for an entire day? How could she continue living in the house as if nothing had happened? Additionally, the police noticed inconsistencies in her story. She claimed that Dae-Hyun was a sales representative selling cleaning products at wholesale prices. Yet there were no such products found in her home. Even stranger, no one else in the building had seen him knock on any other doors, which was unusual for a supposed salesperson. Dae-Hyun's body was sent for forensic examination, and while searching his pockets, the police discovered his mobile phone. Interestingly, he was still fully dressed. Discovering the truth at the police station, investigators examined Dae-Hyun's phone and found that he had been in contact with Minji earlier that day. This indicated that they had known each other for a long time, contradicting her claim that he was just a random salesperson. The police requested call records from the phone company and discovered that Minji and Dae-Hyun had been in frequent contact for over a year. Further investigation revealed that Dae-Hyun was not a sales representative at all. He was a mural artist with a stable career in a completely different district. None of the local residents had ever heard of him selling products, and no one had reported hearing any screams or struggles on the night of the crime. Then a witness came forward, stating that he had seen Dae-Hyun visiting the same building multiple times before. However, he never knew which apartment he was going to. The forensic report revealed another shocking detail. The stab wound in Dae-Hyun's chest was inflicted from above, suggesting that his attacker was positioned higher than him. This contradicted Minji's claim that she had stabbed him while he was attacking her while standing. When confronted with all this evidence, Minji finally broke down and confessed. A toxic affair. A year before the crime, Minji had been experiencing constant conflicts with her husband. He was a few years older than her and spent most of his time outside due to work. Sometimes he even had to stay overnight for work assignments. One day, feeling lonely and bored, Minji decided to go out for a walk. While sitting at a bus stop, she caught the attention of a young man sitting next to her who kept giving her admiring glances. She didn't reject his advances, and they soon struck up a conversation. After chatting for a while, he asked for her phone number, and she gave it to him. That same night, Dae-Hyun called her, though the conversation was brief. However, their connection grew stronger over time. What started as casual phone conversations soon turned into intimate discussions. Dae-Hyun eventually convinced Minji to send him personal photos. At first, she was hesitant, but she gave in. As their relationship deepened, He began visiting her apartment whenever her husband was away, and they engaged in a full-fledged affair. At one point, Dae-Hyun asked to take compromising photos of her. Initially, she refused, but after some persuasion, she agreed. He reassured her that no one else would ever see them. However, over time, Minji started feeling uneasy and decided to end the relationship. That's when Dae-Hyun turned into a nightmare. He threatened to expose the photos online and send them to her husband if she left him. When police officers unlocked Dae-Hyun's phone, they found numerous explicit photos of Minji, confirming his blackmail threats. A deadly revenge, feeling trapped and terrified of the consequences, Minji devised a plan to get rid of Dae-Hyun once and for all. On the 25th night of Ramadan, she called him and invited him over, pretending that her husband was away. Soon as he arrived, she led him to the bedroom, and as usual, they began engaging in intimate activities. However, this time, Minji had hidden a knife under the pillow. While he was distracted, she swiftly grabbed the knife and plunged it into his chest, directly piercing his heart. He died instantly. She then dragged his lifeless body into the wardrobe and shut the door, never realizing that she had left his phone behind. Justice is served. After her full confession, Minji was sent to trial and received a sentence fitting her crime. Her husband, who had trusted her until the very last moment, was devastated when he discovered the truth. Not only had she been cheating on him, but she had also committed murder in cold blood. And so, Minji's story came to an end, one that began with betrayal and ended in blood, proving that some humans can be far more cruel than the devil himself.